Good evening, I'm Oral Gibbes, and welcome to Oral Gibbes Live, coming to you live here from World Star Studios at Amsterdam Shopping Center. And with me this evening, after a long time, the one and only Mr. Arrindell. How you doing, sir?
Good evening, of course, blessed. Thank you so much, Oral. It has been a long time, but for your viewers out there, good evening. Blessings to many of you and all of you who are tuned in this evening.
You're a man with so many caps that I don't know where to start, you know? You're in radio, you know, you cover the whole broadcasting spectrum, you're in entertainment. I mean, you're in everything.
Well, put it this way.
I mean it in a good way.
Well, good or bad, the point of it is I give God thanks every day. As you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning each day, my gift is to ask, what is my mission for the day? Because I can't plan tomorrow. So as the day starts, I look for whatever comes my way and see how I can make and turn that around. And whether it's meeting someone in the neighborhood and saying good morning or having a good word, or someone picks up the phone and call, or my links with the United States, my mentor of the United States that calls me every day to make sure, you know, that things are right with me. My school teacher, my youth leader. Also, if I turn to Colby, then Miss Felicia.
Everybody calling you.
Well, it's also those that make sure that I'm okay. And
yeah, that's nice.
Every morning you wake up, someone sends a nice prayer for you. So it helps you to also reflect on yourself as we are developing. And hopefully it allows me then to be thankful for the same thing too.
So when last you was in New York?
My trip in New York was about a year and a half ago.
What a long time, man.
Yes, because I got caught up since then with a lot of the work and preparing here in the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
And that, you know, I've developed now the program, It's About Time, is now also on the Voice of the Caribbean. And we're branding it now in New York because the main focus is to look at the West Indies Caribbean population that is there, don't have necessary access to information coming from on this end. And even if it's about motivating or communication, but also business opportunities, or even some of them who has family members that are still on the island and challenges that they may go through. So it's something that allows me, as my function as roving ambassador to the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry out of New York since 2004, it allows many times to be able to reach out and analyze what's happening here and abroad. So it keeps me busy.
And have you traveled through the region recently?
Yes, from Anguilla, Sabre Station, Curacao. You know, it has been one of the issues with the union work that I also do as advisor to the SUPLA. The Sabre now on its own has its own union for the medical institutions. So out of that, I've been able to prepare and have them now running their own show there. So it has been a great opportunity. And of course, being able to go to, I was also in Suriname, Aruba, and looking at, you know, wherever time calls and so forth, I'm there.
How do you keep track of for all of these activities?
Well, it's very simple. I have a great son and a daughter, and specifically my son. He's one that keeps me on track with the plans and ideas. And he will always say, Dad, you know, let's focus, and these are plans that we could get done, and let's focus on that. So it allows me as well with my planner to make sure I take notes and, of course, follow up. And, you know, just again, you know, you put enough on your plate that you can handle.
I was quite impressed when you walked into the studio. You said to me, well, I'm a grandfather, I got 5 now.
5 grandkids, yes.
A young guy like you with 5?
Well, you know, I'm clocking close to my 60 now, Oral, and time has been quite blissful. I have 3 kids, and of course I have about 20 adopted kids. I have about 10 step kids. I have other grandkids that belongs to others. They call me grandpa. But my son brought 2 lovely sons, twins, and a daughter. So we have, on his side, I have 3. Then I have my 2 daughters. Both of them have, my youngest daughter have a son, and my daughter in Atlanta, she has a daughter. And she'll be joining us in this summer. She'll be coming down to St. Martin and spend some time and enjoy the island as well.
It's nice because you showed me some of the work that your son is doing.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Yes, yes. It still gives me goosebumps. Because, you know, when back in 2003, 2004, we had the Seman Business Association, and there the whole intention was to create a sort of a computer lab. And out of that, he then got a scholarship to go to Holland to study. And he came back and he studied graphic and also business management and so forth. And he came back to St. Martin very challenged and fired up. And, you know, I would say to them, stop, hold, spend some time, get the spirit of the island, and your ancestors will guide you in what your role and your purpose is. It's always a challenge having these youngsters with 10,000 ideas in the head and want daddy to finance everything. And I'm saying, hold it, take your time, God will show you his way. And he ended up working at the Today newspaper. And I would start to laugh behind the scene because there's a role. And gradually from that, it emerged where he was getting so frustrated about the plans of expansion, the great ideas he would like to see in the media. And then one day, you know, after frustration, he said, I had enough. I made proposals that I could see this company growing differently, be technological wise. I said, cool down. I said, now you understand. Are you ready? And he started publishing then his own papers called Cultural Expression. He said,
is this it here?
That's it there, Cultural Expression.
It's really, really
and
nice.
It's a free copy, and of course, it carries a lot about your health. It speaks about your history, your culture. It's promoting a lot now where the musicians, he's also a producer, his music and of course his film production, but also encouragement for those in the music field. Now they have created a new platform that now will create royalties back for those musicians that can get the music published and get them out there. But Cultural Expression has become now in its second, going to his third year, that he also started Community Garden, which he battled for property in St. Peter's, which he has behind the Hillside School. He has a smoothie shop, which he also now do fish fry every Saturday. Every morning before 7 o'clock, you can get your French baguettes from him. And he's just full of energy, but now he's so focused that I'm so honored and thankful to have him now in his shoes.
So he take after you?
Well, they say so. Then you need to meet my youngest daughter. Aisha is, I must say, she's now also with Victorious Living Foundation. She's a great writer. She loves to read, and she have done an awesome job as far now. She's also on the youth program with Victorious Living Foundation every Saturday. She's a co-host there. And one of the things she said to me, she said, now I understand, Daddy, where you used to be pulling me around and you used to have me under the table in the studio. She said, because now it's easy, because her gift and the thing she fought for in school, a lot is about the justice and the behaviors toward people, children, and that. And her aim is to become a lawyer one day, and she's now doing her social work.
That's good.
And she's now an executive secretary, one of the companies that, after meeting with her at LeaderCast and hearing her, she got immediately the interest by them, and she's now working as the executive with the office now.
You know what's so fascinating? In the last year, when I go out and I meet people and I speak with them, they start to tell me about their children and what they're doing. And you can see the excitement on their face and how happy they are. There are a lot of proud parents in St. Martin who are very proud of their children. Because sometimes when you look around this island, you hear so many negative things. But then again, we don't hear all the positive stories of all the young people who are doing great work.
Well, you know, in the media today, if you, and I would say the people I spend time or reading every document page, why? A lot of times people have to understand the media can strive a lot of negativism, because as a people we like to quickly jump and point finger, or something bad happened to someone, instead of embracing them or lifting them up or encouraging them to do better, we seems to want to strive and pressing that person even deeper into the ground because, oh, it's a negative headline. But if you read a newspaper bulletin line in the big box with the big letters, it's so strategically done that it will catch your attention to quickly buy the newspaper. Majority of conversation will come, which I test people. I said, okay, you walk up in the morning and I talk to them, hey, you see what happened in the newspaper? And they read the headline. I said, did you read below? No, but look what's saying. And the minute you start to read the smaller print, it's a whole different story that is there. But the whole psychology behind the media, if you put these kind of bold prints and that catches the attention of a person, they're going to buy the paper. And that's what is the psychology behind the media print. If you look at the social media, a lot of times people can use that for such good. But the media that you will see in there is always criticizing, tearing somebody down, insults, bashing, and at the same time I would say it's not needed. Because when you're doing that, don't forget today in the world of what you call forensic research as far as persons out there going for a job. They are using now those same social medias to see your behavior. And when you're using it, whether you have it as a game or a joke, it is going to haunt you now.
Of course.
And I would say to youngsters, please stop posting and stop saying these obscene things on Facebook or in social media. Because tomorrow when you go for a job, you don't realize why you're turned down. Because even the FBI today, with the terroristic acts, everyone is now going back in the history to see what kind of communication and things you've said and what you've done. And that is now used
to
condemn you.
It can work for and against you, because I was speaking with a friend of mine that worked for a huge corporation in the States. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me there was a person that applied for a job. Mm-hmm. And they had a big problem. Their problem was that when they tried to look for this person's profile and digital footprint, social media, mm-hmm. they found very little. And
that is negative.
They found very little information, mm-hmm. and that was one of the reasons why this person didn't get the job. You see, so sometimes it can work for and against you. Mm-hmm. And this person at least had more digital information and social media, not necessarily negative, but just
the presence of what, yes,
they gotten the job, because he said to me the person had everything except that.
Yep.
And because of that, they didn't feel comfortable giving the person the job.
Well, you see, exactly that. So it can be used for good or bad. Yeah. You can track and have your experience as far as what you're willing to offer others, right. or what you're profiling yourself as. When you're doing that, it's easy today by using these mediums. If you want to market your business, market the idea that you have, it's easy to get the attention by others out there that will reach out to you. The same time will happen if you are now out there making threats, and your job could be on a level of security. This can harm you, because today when you use these kind of behaviors, it will haunt you and it will follow you, specifically now in the world that we're living in.
And I'll tell you one thing too, people got to be very careful with their Facebook page, because he was saying to me, they can go to your Facebook page, mm-hmm. and get a pretty good idea of who you are, even if you never said anything at all.
Your company you keep.
And he says to me, Oral, look, I know you. I look at your Facebook page, but it's different because you're a public person. So we realize that it's a lot different. But if you're not a public person, mm-hmm. I accept basically anyone in my Facebook page. But if you're not, don't accept anyone in your Facebook page. You got to be very selective,
yes.
or else you're looking for trouble.
Yes, especially now a lot on Facebook, you have a lot of people who need to get a little more knowledgeable in protecting the information, because a lot of time I got a lot of people asking to be friends. And it's very simple to click say yes. I've had the experience where you've done it in the past.
Reject anyone?
No, I'm not rejecting. What I do is I research a little more deeper into the person asking to be friends.
I don't do that.
And many times, what you do get, there's a lot of spam, and there's a lot of hacking going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll see someone say, hey, be a friend, you see the picture. I've had where I had to deal directly with the Secret Service to identify scams that was going on, that was even about Facebook.
Yeah.
And I had friends who just went to visit Facebook. Mm-hmm. Okay? And because their picture was taken at the Facebook headquarters, here they use this picture now as a friend of mine to now start trying to tell me I just want 600,000. And I keep asking, oh, really? Send me some proof. After so many days of asking them questions, and they send me all kind of print copies, but you could see it pasted out and white out. And at the point, the same time, I'm notifying my intelligence department about monitor this. So by doing that, at a point in time, they ask me, hey, send the money now to get this money to Western Union in Long Island. Now, my good friend lives in Long Island. So immediately he said, Greg, no, it's a hoax. So instead of I'm sending the money, I start asking more questions. Right after they said, but you're not serious. And the next thing was cut off, because the phone call that was, the number they would send me, I realized the phone call is a Google call. So you never know where the person is, because it's a forward. Right. So with all that, I'm monitoring so that they can be exposed up to a point that they now realize it's not one of those that you could just simply send. And people have done this. There's millions of dollars people have lost by sending monies to Western Union in order to claim and have this money sent to them. So I said, if that happens, why don't you ask them deduct it?
Exactly.
You know, but this is a vulnerability of our society, this new technology.
It's dangerous. And other thing, people put their phone number on Facebook. I tell them, don't do that. Don't put your phone number as a contact. It's very dangerous.
Right.
I do this different. I know how to go around it.
Right.
But I think the average person should never do it. And what I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, there's a few people creating all these different pages and then contacting people, and it's very prevalent in Zimbabwe, and it's really getting to a point where it's really annoying.
Look, I always say if my page has my name and my picture, there's many folks out there have clip art, or they're not carrying their name. Right. And I'm saying, look, if you want to share with someone, or you want to explain someone, or you want to interact with someone, why you have to hide yourself? You know, be transparent.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong in that, because if I have to say whatever I say, it's very simple. You know who said it, which I try as minimum as possible to say things on Facebook, because it gets very quick in wrong approach, a misinterpretation, or it is used. And if you get caught up into it, you will get dragged into a whole long discussion, and if you look at the end of the discussion, it's someone's opinion that has nothing to do with facts.
Yeah, but there's also,
you'll get that.
There are also some good things about it. I remember one time I posted a picture from back in 1970s.
When you had Afro?
Yeah, in college. And then there were some friends of mine from Turkey and all over. And then you got all these reactions from people from all over the world in a very positive way. So it also plays a very good role sometimes.
I've had that when I went to Sweden. And, you know, we live in this area, but people have to realize there's many other areas that has different groups of Facebook access. So while I was in Sweden, I posted a picture, because I was going to visit Volvo plant and this whole experience. This whole experience for 4 days. And when I did that, I started to notice when my name popped up now inside it started bringing me people that I knew from in Holland. And it took me back almost 40 years.
Wow.
Because that way I was able now to connect with some people who I haven't talked to since 1980 when I left Holland. And there the whole list popped up. And again, it opens up. Look, there's much that can be done in a positive note, because it allows people who may not have had access to, for example, a business deal, or maybe to a record label, or maybe even to entrepreneurs, even maybe to today crowdfunding. Information is out there. Use it in a positive sense. You will achieve the dreams and the wishes or the ambitions you have. Don't use it opposite, because then you're blocking yourself from the things that you need to help you get forward. So I would always say that social media, some call it the mark of the beast, some call it all other kind of things, but it's how you use it, you will get the results. Today, Facebook is quite advanced in the sense where a lady making just jams at home can end up now getting an offer on a global level to sell her product. And then you'll find that she needs to have, which I know some here, you need to have the raw material. You can pose questions when you see things. And before you know, there's a contact coming to you. So it can be done because you have more access than you would have ever had in the past.
It's incredible, huh?
Look, I put $20 in, I had 14,000 people within a couple hours reach. So it can work fantastically when you're doing marketing.
One day I just posted a fruit. I wasn't too sure the name of the fruit. And I was shocked at the response.
I was following you on that, the red little one.
Yeah, I was like,
supposed to be the cocoa plum.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yes, I saw it. I followed.
How many people responded?
And you said it had different names.
I didn't know the name of it. And the cocoa plum and all those different names in different regions of the Caribbean and Latin America. And I said, wow, you know, that surprised me.
I used to go down Bluff to get that. Because the days going through the bushes down Bluff, Belle Creole. You used to find a lot of the cocoa plum down there.
We can't find it anymore.
No, a lot of people just put a bulldozer through without questioning what kind of tree they need. No trees are trees that you just, no brush is just a brush that you knock down. I've taught and I've learned a lot that even in Suriname, you go to Suriname, you're going to see every single thing that you think is just a throwaway. It's not. It's a medicine. Once you understand what it's about, you will realize that you've been taking this thing and chopping it and throwing it in the garbage. I've seen people taking a specific type of plant which is it's like a callaloo. It's all over the road. The Haitians use it. But people walk around here and they just say, chop it and throw it away. Today you could buy it in the supermarket, you could buy it in the market. The French prickle that we see people chop off and throw away.
Yeah.
You go in supermarkets in Selfridge, for example, in the United States, or Prubex, you'll find the whole French prickle wrapped because it's also on a young stage. You slice it just like string beans.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of things we take for granted, or we get now so out of touch with the old traditions of the things our grandparents used to prepare. We lose sight of it. And we are now taking these stuff and throwing them in the garbage and not realizing that every yard that you walk that an elder person lived in, the plants that is in that yard has a medicine purpose for that family.
But you know, we're not so knowledgeable when it comes to plants, etc. Because I have a banana tree now for, let me see, 25 years. And every person from Haiti that stopped by me, they look at it and they say, why are you watching it like that? I say, it's different. They have not seen one like that.
That brand,
yeah.
right.
It's amazing how they can just spot a fruit tree, in this case a banana tree, and there are other banana trees there, but that specific banana tree,
they can tell the difference.
Tell you that's,
you see, they come out of the plantation age too, that where they had to toil and do a lot of things and they understand the herbs. You would see Haitians today that could walk through the hill and you see a lot of things they're selling. You would swear that it was imported. All through Concordia and the hills. Those are products that they know of the potential of that product, whether it's to take a bath, whether it's to prepare for a fever, like the palm syrup tree. A lot of people don't realize the leaves from a palm syrup tree, you boil the water, soak that, take a bath with that, your fever is gone.
Wow.
Simple,
I didn't know that.
Simple as that. So again, a lot of times you see the purple nipple that comes out on the bananas on the bunch. We chop it off and throw it away. Partner, that whole purple thing is a high product for eating. We'll chop it and throw it away. You go in other countries, you will see that is preserved in supermarkets. People come with the young say they slice that and they stir fry it or they will stew it, and that is a high protein product for your diet. But and we throw them away.
I saw a guy eating the skin from banana saying it's good.
But you polish your shoes with banana skin to shine your shoe.
It's amazing.
It's a lot can be done, but again, it's about how we get back to our basics and understand that the medicines that are out there now, these biomedicines, you have the product right there. You know, we're like Doc would always complain about the elders today having this biomedicine. That I listened today with the CFT and all of them talking that our medicine is very expensive and we have to get generic medicine back for our people. It cannot be that the biomedicine that you're giving the seniors, it's not healthy for them. It doesn't give the same reaction comparing to what they know of a generic medicine. So all of this, again, is critical that us as a small society, that we cannot afford, yes, according to the standards they're setting for us here in healthcare, that these medicine that is more generic good for us, that they cannot afford it. So therefore, go back to your Mother Nature stuff. Every plant has a purpose. They don't have to call it the obia man or the obia woman. They don't have to chastise you because today they are taking the same research coming from these products that they find all throughout the region, and they're now taking a strain from that and modifying it, and then they're coming back with an alternative medicine, while we have the organic product right around us all the time. So it's for us to learn more that stop looking outside the fence. You know, the grass is not green outside.
Right in your yard.
It's right in your yard.
So tell me what's happening tomorrow, because of the cruise ship coming tomorrow with thousands of people?
Yes. Again, I give God thanks for always, because, you know, so often we hear a lot of people praying when there's sad moments or challenge moments, we all can raise up our hands and say it's about a God. Well, however model shape you serve God, or you identify that there's a God, it's very simple. We have had a great carnival for many, and we had a sad moments for many too. But at the same time, we have a day of worship. We have so many churches all over the island popping up, and the people today on St. Martin is looking for some comfort in this country. They're looking.
So many churches pop.
Well, I'm not going to worry about the many churches, because the church is within you. You have to understand what you're going through, and it's only you. I always say sometime when someone goes into the medical center, for example, in a critical situation. When they come back out now better, you would hear someday it's a miracle, or the doctor will take credit for healing you. If that person goes in critical and died, do you see anybody come up and take the gratitude for it?
Nobody take the credit for that one.
You understand me? So when you use the word a miracle, or you say God gifts help you to get through this, then it takes a lot, like I learned in Cuba. You can have a situation where you had an experience or accident and you get a phantom pain. Some people sometimes amputate a leg. You see them still tomorrow scratching. The leg is no longer there. It's still caught up in your brain of the pain that was caused during that incident. It's a phantom pain that you could get rid of by now conditioning yourself to take that out of your mind now.
It's difficult. Huh?
It's difficult, but there's a way you can do it. Look, there's so much that we learn, as you asked me there about the coming up tomorrow. Look, we have so much talent in this country. If we only learn how we can harness it and pull it together instead of thinking self and running in a corner to do your own little thing and destroying the beauty of that by not coming together and getting a piece of the pie, and not that I want the cake for myself. Because you're setting a wrong example by setting the standard of what it should cost. You're now cutting because you need to live tonight. So what is happening, I was honored again to have over the years doing the jazz for the Downstreet Community Council, which I must thank our chairman, Mr. Gottfried Richardson, for seeing that a community as Phillipsburg had many associations in the past, or councils, or whatever the reason you use it. But it's to help at least stay in touch with your neighbor, having to understand what are the concerns. So with that, we have done the privilege of doing different events in the past, the jazz, getting a test run on how we can do the jazz one day, picking up jazz from the days of Anastasia Lamini, Mr. Schultz back in the days. It's just carrying the mantle from someone that had it before. Tomorrow we're going to have a great experience because here now with many persons in the Downstreet Community Council, Gregory, Prince of Juliana Airport, Let's Travel, your travel planners, you're speaking also of Lincoln, you're speaking of the Harbor Group of Companies, you're speaking of the St. Martin Tourist Office, the Ministry of Theatre, you're speaking of so many, Benjamin Bell, the Federation of Council of Churches, FedOx, and some from the French side and the northern side. They've all come together because Michael W. Smith had a team that came and visited St. Martin last year in July. And out of that, they saw the beauty, how they was going to create a cruise for them and their friends and worshipers to go on a cruise. And they selected specific island, and St. Martin stood out as an island that Michael reached out through Pastor Jerome, who is friends of others in the United States, reached out and say, look, what do you think about St. Martin? That we're doing this cruise, we want to include St. Martin. And upon doing that, how do we get something that we can come together as a community? And he would be more than happy to present himself. So out of that, they got together, and then I was called in January. And in 5 days' time, together with my son, we put a program together and was presented to the Federation of Council of Churches. And we spoke about it and said, yes, this is something, because when you go look at Michael's Facebook page, as we talk about, it's 2.2 million followers he has on Facebook. And every friend has a whole list of friends. So we average him roughly about 100, almost, let's say, 50 million people that he has access to. On Twitter and Twitter and, you call that one, Twitter, Instagram, you're talking 540,000, 94,000. So here you having this person reaching out to come to St. Martin, and he wants now to reach out to us to have a appearance on St. Martin. So therefore, it was, let's now accommodate this wish, a great opportunity for St. Martin. And with the approval of the plan of approach, it's now becoming a fruition.
So he's going to perform tomorrow too?
He's going to perform tomorrow. He's traveling with several thousand other members on the boat. He's having the ship itself, Oasis of the Sea, is hitting 5 different stops. St. Martin is the started sailing on the 2nd. St. Martin will be the 5th. They'll be stopping in St. Martin. And Michael decided with his team that after back and forth corresponding, he's going to perform on St. Martin, which means with a 120-member choir. And he's going to come on about 12 The whole thing is going to start at 10. Benjamin Bell, we have some other folks from Anguilla. Susan Bess, she's also going to perform. And that's going to open the day. And then after Michael leaves at 2 o'clock, he's going to meet with the community for about 45 minutes to reach out and talk and, press and take pictures. They're also going to stream it live on Facebook from the site. So with the tourist office and those in the Ministry of Tourism, they have realized now having an opportunity to have Michael on St. Martin and streaming back out on Facebook, doing all the necessary promotion for St. Martin. We could not have paid for that. Michael is making a contribution as well to St. Martin in order for him to present a give back to St. Martin. So he's going to do some of his top hit songs. Amazingly, I had 2 folks walked up yesterday to me, and they're from Chicago, living in Orlando. They just came into St. Martin. They said, look, we've been coming to St. Martin for 20 years. We always miss event. And they're pastors, him and his wife. He said, look, Michael has been one of our idols for many years, has motivated us. Now that we saw that he's going to be on St. Martin looking at the billboard, they came to make sure they could come tomorrow early to get a table so that they can sit down. So the whole thing, we're saying that the word of St. Martin and the time that we're in right now, with the program tomorrow starting at 10, Benjamin Bell and his crew is going to come on also with some of the local musicians that went away to school. Mr. Richardson went to study in Florida. He's back as one of the baddest drummers around. And the rest of the team, they're going to tear the house down tomorrow. You're even going to have rap. You're going to have Don Frostin is going to be there with his testimony on how he has overcome his challenge with drugs. But today, as he's giving thanks, and he's such an awesome musician.
The guy is great.
Look, you're going to have that, and again, you're going to have testimonies going on, but it's going to be a beautiful day. And one of the highlights, you heard of the movie Mother Knows Best,
right,
by Miss Atalita Rogers. Right. That movie is going to be played on one of the big screens provided by Viva Signs, the big billboard. They put up the screen there now, and that movie is going to come on 6 o'clock until 7:15, so that those who didn't get to go to the launching would get to see what and how important it is of the message in there for generations to come. For the youngsters who used to come and hang out at Plans Pier on the beach, that film was filmed right there.
So at the Walter Plans?
At the Walter Plans Square tomorrow. Right. So really, it's we have had a lot of good feedback. I must say the support has been tremendous. Diamond International also reached out today so that at least they can offer the guest experience. We have other stores, other businesses, Max Philippa, one of your good friends. Right. We're trying as well at the same time with the Downstreet Council to bring life, but also to show the local experience. The local musician will be able to perform before Michael comes on, so he gets to see the trueness of the talents of St. Martin.
Mr. Felipe going to have some of his paintings?
Well, he told me, I tried to get some materials. He said, I've given out some of the material to some other promotion that didn't work for me as well. But definitely, he is also one of the advisors to the council. Okay. And he definitely is going to be mentioned so they can also walk across.
Right next
take a look. So he's aware that he will, he's down with the student are getting painted up and everything for the season. But as I said to him, he wants to know by tomorrow that as they're walking through Phillipsburg, back and forth, you have almost 5,000 persons that is on that ship. Yeah. Whether do an island tour. I'm encouraging all of you, the bus drivers and all, bring the people to town and let those come and experience this event in Phillipsburg.
You got 5,000 people plus more people coming. How are you going to hold all those people?
Look, remember the aerobatic show that we had with the planes back? Yeah. You were down at DV. Yeah. You had an awesome time. I saw your footage. It was an experience, and it's coming back this year again. Yeah. And that had from Mount Vista to the hills of Little Bay was packed. The boardwalk was packed. The restaurants were stunned to find out that they could not even fathom the volume of people that came out. So tomorrow, as I'm saying, God is good. Be there because it's an experience of a lifetime that you're going to have.
Oral Gibbes live on caller. Hello?
Yes, Oral. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing? Good to hear your voice. Haven't heard from you in a long time.
Mr. Arrindell, I congratulate him for his organization with the show tomorrow, but I'm a little concerned about the packing and so on. What are you going to do about that?
Good.
Are you going to have the police there regulating and everything? Because that can be a chaos.
Well, it's not going to be a chaos for the fact that First of all, the permit comes from the Ministry of Justice and the police. They all are familiar with that. But we have also the partial parking there on the planned square. And we also have where Mr. Gottfried Richardson has made also his facility there, which can hold several cars. We have that. But what a lot of people don't realize, in Phillipsburg, and I would say to them that we don't scope out exactly how we could park. We all want to park in the front of the door. But if you take the whole ring road, and you take
back in the Pondville,
you take the parking lot, but park around the Central Bank.
Yeah.
Take, for example, the alley that leads from the Central Bank, Sun Color. Anywhere there you walk from there, cross over to Carnegie Street, you go through the alley. It have lights in there too. You cross over Baxter, you come through by Lescargo. You cross over, you come right in between Burger Madness and Lizzie's. You're on the Boardwalk. It's the only alley you could see from in town, straight across to Tellem.
We don't like to walk.
But I'm saying, look, you have also the Great Bay parking lot. So it is a place, when people come into town, government parking lot over in the Pondfield, I'm going into town, I leave my car down the road park.
So what do you think? You satisfied now?
I'm listening.
Yes. So really?
You have to have the beach clear of cars to accommodate the people.
Well, the beach, first of all, on the section there by Mr. Williams' house, it's again to bring in those that are coming in. We have the visitors who are coming in, the 120-member choir. They're going to come in by the what we call the ferry, because they need to be on time. So we had that with Abdul, and of course with Abba and Michael Smitham also. They are cooperating with that. They're going to come down directly behind Walter Plant Square on the big ferry for 200 of them. That ship is going to bring them right there. They're going to come on board. But the fact of it is then they're going to walk through town and do the shopping. I always say we had the Heineken Regatta and all of that in Phillipsburg. The key thing is to park. And if you don't want to be walking through too many alleys, just park close up by the Central Bank on the back there, and you just walk through that. It brings you straight to the beach. It takes you 2 minutes to cross over, and you just walk down and enjoy those restaurants along the boardwalk. Okay? And make sure when you come there, you look them up one time.
Anyhow, success.
Thank you so much, and thanks.
Yeah, in Zimbabwe, we really don't like to walk that much, and that could be a problem at times.
Well, look, it's one thing I can say we have. I know when I'm going to Colby, for example, I'm going to airport. I know today I don't take the road over the hill no more. I go over Cake House Hill. I go straight down past Caribbean Autos Hill, hit over the bridge, and I straight down by the airport. I know certain times of the day when I should not be taking the other road because it's occupied. If I'm going to Grand Cars, why am I going to Marigot? I go up here to Soccer Garden, hit Bishop Hill, straight down to the frontiers, and I take cool. Everybody's coming this way, I'm going that way.
I do the same thing.
So it's for us to learn at times that, yes, the stranger may not know these shortcuts. I come in here, I cut you by the dump.
But that one's not a shortcut, it's longer, but at least
I call it shortcut. I get there fast and it's stuck in traffic.
But you're not in traffic, but it's long.
There you go. Coming to you, I cut straight through by the government building there, straight by the university, come straight through in Soccer Garden, turn, come down, and I'm right there at your studio.
Yeah.
Now at this hour to get here by you, I'm going to go through traffic without people coming home from work. So we have to be a little more creative in the way we're doing things. I would assume some coming into town coming with a bus. You leave your car home. If you find the parking is going to be a problem. But at the same time, I must say we have good cooperation from the Taxi Association, who's providing the service to bring VIP service, to bring Michael Smith down, to also, Cisco, thank you so much, also to move the equipment that comes in on the ship one time, to get it clear. Maduro Travel, Aishel and all those at Lynch at the harbor, worked all the details. Maduro Travel worked out the details to facilitate getting the equipment off and getting it down on time. So I must say that tomorrow that it is a great opportunity because it's not going to be a traffic issue because every day police is out there, they're regulating the traffic. But tomorrow they are aware and there's several chances and places you have that you could go and park.
Oh, and it's beautiful. Water Plant Square is really beautiful.
It's awesome. And I know with Shadow, Addison Richardson, you know, he has a lot of challenge in the sense of facilitating that side of town because like they said, parking, if people want to just park right there. Now, the issue with the parking lot has helped because the vendors who's on the Walter Plant Square, You have when people are running, coming from work quickly, they want to be able to pull in, grab a quick lunch, or pick up food. They love going by Sendo, they love going by Layback, they love going to Oranje Cafe. And it's have the vending machine there. You could get your fricandelle, your croquette. You know, it's a different challenge. Layback does. Now on Saturday mornings, you could come and get your fish in the morning now. You get your fish and Johnny cake. You could get your salt fish and Johnny cake. Why? Because you don't have to go to Marigot to do all those things. We have a great, awesome space called that Boardwalk. Yeah. It needs to be utilized a little more with our culture. It needs to be also an opportunity where people see it's not just for tourists, because right now we have one ship sometime a week, but it's now to enjoy those locals who are on Sima, they don't travel, go out, to be able to enjoy the island. And this, therefore, these restaurants has to reach out now, start dealing with the locals, instead of being in a totally different atmosphere.
What about Emancipation Day, the 1st of July? What did you do on that day?
Look, what did I did? Well, it always said that you need to stop and reflect. And of course, as the Independence Day also in the United States, I got a note today from one of my friends, said, look, Independence Day had nothing to do with barbecue. They say, because don't forget the first one, he had a problem with his mouth, so he could eat soup. You understand? So it's all become a commercialization after the end on doing other things. But definitely it's been something unique for us.
Let me take a call. If you're Oral Gibbes Live, you'll call. Hello?
No, good night, Mr. Gibbes.
Good night,
Arrindell.
Good night, darling.
I have to Scully, and that name is a powerful name, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a powerful name, and I'm glad to know that his name will continue to live on.
Thank you much.
You know who calling, Mr. Arrindell?
Oh, yes. I know. It's a powerful lady calling. This is the wife of the late Mr. Walter Plants.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. But you know, Miss Bina.
It's a powerful name.
Miss Bina.
Yeah.
You're not coming down from my little syrup thing, you know? My little thing, you got mine still, right?
Yeah, I'm trying and I'll put again, try. They're giving me problem, but I'll still try and come out.
Okay, well, otherwise I will come pick you up in for a few minutes and come up during Michael Smith.
Come to me then. Because they're giving me problem, and it's a little distance I have to walk here.
Well, you know.
You have to come to me, I'll be here.
Okay, I will do that, but I'll see you during the morning hour. You know there's one love here all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, love.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for calling. Take care. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. She's a fine lady.
Oh, gosh, look, I get my soup.
Yeah.
And she has these Suriname plums that she makes like a lemonade out of them, a juice. And then she have them stewed also. And let me tell you, when you have an ice cream, vanilla, anything, you just put that on top there. Or you don't want nothing healthier than that. And that tree by her is loaded sometimes 3-4 times a year.
Wow.
And people just see it and don't understand the power, and that's very healthy for you as well. So I always thank her because, like I said, I just try not to go too often because I might become a piece of the furniture because it's amazing. And I must say that I must big up our youngsters and the community of downtown because I've been embraced, and at the same time I'm seeing such great talent. My boy under the tree right now, you know what I'm talking about, that I saw this man take some wood and make some furnitures, Oral, out of this world. And we see these boys walk around think they ain't capable of nothing, but to give them access.
Exactly.
He built from table, chairs, press, closed closet, right there under the flamboyant tree, just around the corner from Sea Palace on Back Street. He making canes now. Really? Walking cane, out of hardwood, and awesome work. And it's so simple. You see him walk around, you even didn't think he could lift up a fly. But it coming back to show you that we, as you said when we started the program, it's not about crying down people. The parents today are feeling so proud for the fact that we can say we have children, because we have to be reminded too that we're here for a purpose. This community of St. Martin, our seniors, I can never walk the street without remembering the pleasure I had to have elders speaking and guiding me. Mr. Lake, Neville Lake. I must say also when we talk about the seniors, the health care of these seniors, these generic drugs instead of bio drugs, bio instead of generic, they are suffering out there. But at the same time, it takes us to show them that we care. It takes a community of St. Martin. That's why he said tomorrow, the day of worship. We went out there, we had a bacchanal. Let's do another bacchanal tomorrow. Come out there and hear different and get a different vibe. See what your community is offering you. See what this can become as a great opportunity for our children to see there's a different rhythm, but a different sound.
It's all gospel tomorrow, right?
It's gospel. Look, they even got some of the boys rapping. But when you hear the rap, it's the rhythm, but listen to the words. It's nothing wrong with the beat. Anyone could dance to a beat. But it's the message of the voice and the sound that is coming into your ear. So when you're going to take that message and have that message in negative form, you're not lifting up. It might be very spontaneous to cry down in chair or to see someone in despair, but it is not the right thing at the end of the day for our people to feel lifted up at the same time.
You heard what they did to 50 cents and sink it?
But hey, and I listened to the Lady Williams trying to say, oh, what happened to those people in St. Kitts? But the fact is, they have a rule.
Yeah.
They want you not to go negative outside there. So if you still want to do that, then you have a problem at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay? We have to deal right here in St. Martin, like I said, today in the bank oral, you know, to see the bank full, the one here at Taylor's Road. 2 tellers. I spent 2.5 hours in there. So it's either the management is in problems because the workers are not happy. And you're seeing this whether you're going to civil office and so forth. They are not happy.
Island-wide now.
It's gone beyond. So we're saying you can't have people standing at a bank for 2.5 hours. You can't use your phone. You can't use your computer inside the bank because security is hassling you. Well, I missed 2 checks that I had to pick up today because guess what? I wasn't allowed to use my phone, and I'm standing in the bank and I'm seeing they call me, Greg, come for the check, it ready. But if I leave the bank, when I get back in?
You can't answer your phone.
I can't answer my phone. But at the same time, you're telling me to go green, so don't be printing. I can go in the bank on the computer, but you have me digital online with my accounts. But I have to go and deposit a check now. So to deposit, I have to go inside the bank. So in the meantime, spending 2.5 hours and seeing many who had to take the day off. Seniors, they're standing in line, sitting on the chair, going through hardship. We need to have compassion for these folks as well.
You ever go to the bank in Europe?
Look, it's with my card.
You don't see anybody in the bank.
It's with my card. And I'm talking even back in the 70s, the Bond Spot Bank.
But right now, I mean, you go to a bank in Holland, you don't see people. Why we can't? We need to take a serious look at. But this is the problem: is we like to feel the green in our hand, we like to see it, feel it, touch it. But we have to change.
Well, I would say that the digital world is one thing, but at times I had my experience in. I still keep something in a shoebox. Yeah. Because in the digital world in Aruba, I end up one day went to the ATM machine at night. I have to leave the next day. My sister died, so I was down there. And I know my account has money because I have the receipt in my hand, what's on the account. Thank God I had a friend wire me money down because the bank system went down, the digital system went down. I had to call Miss Richardson Swinder at the bank, call her, get the management to call her, so at least internally could have verified, yes, I have money on the account in St. Martin, internally then to get certain things clear. But it is important for us in St. Martin that we're talking about being in the 21st century. Our communication system, our internet, our phone system got to step up to the plate. I see people walk around now to do fiber lines in St. Martin. Well, the pipes are there for now years under the ground.
The sleeves are there.
For the longest while, I'm sure they're blocked.
They need to work on that because the sleeves are already laid. All they have to do is blow the fiber.
Blow the fiber and start the work. So I do see some gentlemen walking through St. Martin now and doing statistics all through town. So hopefully that this comes to the homes and allow people. It is a critical time as we're communicating across the globe. Our kids are using now the smartphones. The bags is no longer there. It's a tab that the kids can use all the download with the schoolwork and everything. We are in that age, we're not saying don't forget your basics, but at the same time, teach them the basic, but now they have the tools that they can use to advance themselves, to be more equipped, and to be more prepared to take on the challenges. The jobs that are coming now is in the technological field. And as long as the Caribbean does not grasp and help our kids to be on the level, we'll be in trouble.
Look at Google. Google just, let me just say this call.
Sure.
Here. Oral Gibbes live on caller. Hello? You're on live caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on live caller. Can you turn your TV? Can you turn your TV off, please?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Yes, what Mr. Arrindell is saying is true. So, for instance, I was in UTS, right? I think you're talking or something like that. Yes, and UTS. There are 3 cashiers. One for to pick Carnet or whatever it is.
Carb serve.
Lady, times 3 o'clock, times for the world lunch. But we were not organized when she's going to lunch for someone else to take over. I have a line of about 20 people there. It's not right. And they don't first have chairs on the side for you to sit. Now they don't have chairs on the side to do sit. There are 4 chairs in the back or 2 chairs in the back where people may use their laptop or check out their phone that they bought. And the same thing now first before you had in the post office, senior citizen line. But now that they go in spot, you send the boxes or so. But one person taking mail takes so long of receiving the box to fill in. You have to wait so long. It's not like it used to be anymore. The only thing I can say have to wait to right now is GB. The rest I don't see much. Oh yes, and when I had a bank, I was seeing it tonight. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much. He's so correct. GB is much more efficient today.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Arrindell, we just about out of time. We only have 30 seconds. It's all yours in closing.
Well, give thanks, and of course, it's a time to come out, folks. Please come out there and enjoy yourself. The seniors, always have a place in our heart. Come out there. We're going to have enough facilities. There's going to have food, drinks. They're going to have a great time of worship, a great time of inspiration. And just let's give thanks and, of course, to look forward for all of the other challenges we're seeing globally. We are still thankful and blessed that St. Martin is still intact, but it needs to have a turnaround.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to wish you much success.
Thank you.
And we got to do this some more often. And next time, bring in Mr. Freed Richardson with you.
I will look forward to
You're
it.
doing a great job in the Down Street thing. All right?
He's been quite supportive, and I want to thank all the other members and all those who have made it all possible.
Again, thanks, Greg. Much success.
My pleasure. Thank you, Oral.
That's it. I'll see you tomorrow night with a very interesting guest. Until then, good night. Take care. Bye.